Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be going over how to get a free degree. So let's get started. Let's walk through this together. Here are some things that you should know before you get on to earning your degree. You have the option as a student to test out of many undergraduate classes. And what I mean by that is that year one, freshman, year two, sophomore, year three, junior, and finally your senior year. If at any time you feel you're ready, you have the ability to take a test. And if you pass that test, that means you'll never have to set a foot into any one of those classrooms. What a great idea. This is very beneficial to anyone based on the fact that you're going to avoid borrowing and you're going to save a lot of money. This here is something that I put together for you guys. I've got here the amount of test attempts in 2017 for everyone that took the CLEP and for everyone that took the DSST, civilian or military. In 2017, 121,173 people, civilians, took the CLEP. In that same year, 47,440 military members also took the CLEP. Civilian test attempts for the DSST numbered 3,222. And for the military, that number was much higher, 38,533. This does not account for individual test takers, meaning these may be multiple attempts by the same person. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about something very critical. Who is eligible for the entirety of the funding for their free degree? Well, that's all active duty military personnel and Guard and Reserve personnel, including the U.S. Coast Guard and their spouses. Also, Air Force civil service employees. To all my veterans out there, you've got options too. A recent expansion to the Forever GI Bill in 2017 eliminated certain impediments for test taking fees. That meant that previously, if you took one of these tests, you would use an entire month's allotment of your funding just for that single test. Now that's been fixed. The rates are prorated now according to the specific amount that each test costs. Now, let me show you how to get started. If you're in the military, what you're going to do is first, you're going to get in contact with the Defense Activity for Non-Traditional Education Support, which is abbreviated by DANTES, DANTES. Guys, this is the organization that's set up within the Department of Defense that's going to handle all your waivers. Now these waivers are given to you up front before you take any one of these tests. All you have to do is to designate during registration that you are in the military. Even your administrative fees are waived if you're taking them at a sponsored center. Also, you're going to want to ensure that whatever school that you plan to attend, you want to make sure that they accept prior learning credits from any one of these CLEP or DSST tests. Don't worry, there are thousands, there are many schools that accept prior learning credit. They know what situation you're in and they know where you're coming from. There's a variety of credits that the schools accept. It's not even, but fortunately, there are some very generous policies out there. Let us briefly touch on how these tests are actually scored. The DSST is a test that's dealing with 300 to 400 level courses, and they are owned by Prometric. There are two scoring systems out there. One scoring system bases your score off of how well everybody who has taken the test, how well they have done. So your scores are compared to theirs, and that is calculated into your passing score. And it is not as simple as I put it, but just for a brief reference, that's what you need to know. Now, the other scoring system, this is more widely applied now. There are still some tests out there that are being scored in the aforementioned way, but most tests that they administer now, they go off of this scoring guideline, and that's by the percentage of correct answers, which means that you're not going to be penalized for incorrect answers. You will only be awarded for correct answers. Here is a couple of screenshots from the Prometric website, which shows for each test the percentage of correct that you need to get to pass the test. Take your time and view some of these pass rates. Be reminded that this is data from 2018. Go back and take a look at the beginning of this video. I showed you data from 2017, which shows that there were many more civilian CLEP test attempts that year. Unfortunately, College Board does not publish this information anymore. There appears to be some very challenging courses. That's no worry. One way we can explain some of these lower pass rates is that some people prefer to take these tests cold. That means they've done no studying. I do not advise that. You do not want to fail one of these tests. Let's compare this information to what was shown in the beginning of the video. You will see that there were far fewer civilian test attempts for the DSST, One way we can explain this is that the DSST began exclusively for military service members. Since 2007, however, the DSST has been open to anyone in the public. Perhaps they are not as aware of the DSST as the CLEP. There are over 30 subjects to be tested upon by the DSST. Some of these may fulfill your general education requirements, maybe an elective, and in some cases, even major requirements. Here's a few links to some fantastic websites in the description. If you would like some free study materials, go to getcollegecredit.com. Prometric offers free study materials, practice exams, and etc. Are you ready to show everyone your hard work? Fortunately, your CLEP and your DSST scores are available in one place. They're available to send anywhere. Here's a common question that I get asked. What appears on my transcript? Well, the equivalent course that corresponds to whichever test that you've taken, that will appear in your transcript. A letter grade will not be shown. If you transfer any one of these tests to an institution, what will be shown is a TR, which means transfer. If you take one of these tests while you're already enrolled at a school, what will be shown is CR for credit. This may be different at other schools. And in rare cases, I have seen only in one instance where a school translated your score into an actual letter grade. When you're ready, go to getcollegecredit.com. Designate a receiver and order your transcript, which can be sent to you as an unofficial transcript or sent to a school as an official transcript. What if I'm not in the military? Well, don't fret. You're covered anyway. Both tests are available to you at a cost of $89 for the CLEP and $85 for the DSST. There's a mass of free resources available on the internet to help you study, prepare, and register for one of these courses. Compare these costs to typical 12-week semester costs. It will be apparent that this is what you need to do to graduate much quicker.